How do you say yarrow?
Welcome to How Do You Say Yarrows?
How do you say yarrow? How do you say yarrow?
It'll be all the fun in the world.
Hello.
Welcome to How Do You Say Yarrows?
Welcome.
So we are filming now. This will probably come out in the winter. We know we've been on a hiatus.
Yes.
But we've been busy with 2 kids, and we're really trying to roll back into January, if I'm right?
That's right.
That's our goal. So we're getting some content early on, but we had a question that has sprung up recently in our household. Gabby, do you want to set the tone for this?
Yes. So we thought of this because I had asked Adam something, and he went on a big rant of, this is not a real question. When you ask me this, I know it's not a real question. And so we're going to talk about what are those things that you ask each other that are not a real question.
Yeah,
basically.
you're asking this as a way to vindicate your behavior and just get affirmation, but it's not really being asked.
That's right. Exactly.
Yeah. Do you want to throw out a question you ask, and then I'll ask a question?
Yes. When I ask, I'll say, should I cut the boy's hair?
Oh.
Right now? I'll say, should I, I was thinking, should I cut Seth's hair today? Do you think? And the inflection is as though it's a question. And I mean it as a question. When I'm saying it to Adam, to the room, I'm saying, I'm really, pondering this. Should I? Is now a good time?
And once I hear it, I know it's dangerous because it's happening. And the thing that gets me is that I know from Gabby's tone, she is ready to go on this. She might be pondering, and I'm just thinking, let's get going with this already. But it'll be pondering. There'll be a lot of pondering on this.
It's not even that much pondering. I might ask the question 2 or 3 times. That's not a lot.
Yeah, no. Okay, maybe the haircut's not bad. There's another one.
I might be should we? And it's, he's right though. Because when I get to the point of asking the question, that means I've already been thinking about this for at least a week.
Oh, it's in your mind.
Yeah, I've already been thinking in my week, during the week, that I'm gonna put that on the to-do list. At some point I gotta cut his hair. At some point I gotta cut Seth's hair. And then when I've gotten to the point where I see an opportunity and I say to Adam, is now a good time? Should I cut Seth's hair? He's right. When I'm asking the question, it probably means just go do it.
Yeah.
Because you've been thinking about this all this time and now you want to do it. So why are you asking me?
Yeah. And and if I say no, it's like I'm not listening to it all. Because there are a number of times this, particularly with children, I'll give a diverging opinion and it is like I am not in the room. which is fine. I don't need many times these are purely opinion-based items. No one needs to listen to my opinion, but I don't know why I'm being asked. If there's the ask is the offensive part. And I've had this in many places in life, and it's similar to I never like walking into a room where a decision is already being made and then being asked what I think, or you could say, hey, we've decided to do this. What are your thoughts? That's fine. But don't give me the indication that my opinion will change something if it's already decided. That is offensive to me.
Oh, that is true. That's so well said. What's one that you say?
I think it's when I ask about purchasing a clothing item. In my mind, I've already committed to purchasing this.
Oh my gosh.
And there are a number, Gab, because I'll ask, and I don't, so I think Gabby buys more clothes than me, I want to say, in the bulk. But I spend more, I would still say, on fewer items.
Yeah.
I think if we were to compare receipts over the year, I would have spent more, even though I might have purchased less clothing.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Yeah.
And I think that is true, I would say, in our regular lives.
Yes.
Because right now I'm in a unique time because I was just pregnant for 10 months and now I'm postpartum. So it's in the last couple, maybe 3 years since just being pregnant multiple times, I have not bought really much at all.
Sure, no, very fair.
But that's simply because it's just not fun to buy when you're pregnant.
And I want to defend Gabby is a very frugal buyer. She looks for good deals. She's very talented at this.
Thank you.
So,
and Adam is a very good shopper as well. But I would say unusual, once we're out of
normal calendar year
weird bodies, then I'm sure we'll go back to what it usually is I buy more items but for less money.
Yes. Yeah. I will probably buy a few items, but it will total much more. It's the general. I think it's the fair. I think that's accurate.
That's true.
Yeah, I think that's an accurate.
But that means that you think very hard about your items. So when you come to me and you say like, I'm thinking about this item, should I buy it? And I believe it. I'm a sucker every time. I think he's really asking me, should I buy this item? I really think it. When he asks me, it's usually during pillow talk.
It is.
It's the end of the day, boys are asleep, we're laying in bed, and Adam's like, I've got a really burning question. I'm like, oh, okay. And he's like, you gotta see this. Should I buy this? Should I? Do you think I should I order this? And I'm like, oh wow, like this is new to me. I've never seen this item in my life. I've never even thought about this before. I'm like, oh, let me look. So I look at it with earnest, attention. And
I'm blushing very hard right now. If you're on the podcast, which most people are, I'm blushing. I'm a little ashamed.
No, it's just, I think it's fascinating. I'm like, yeah, like, wow, thanks for asking me. This is so fascinating. What is this item? He's like, oh, I'm between two colors. No, he's not. He's not between two colors, everybody. He's not between two colors. He's not really asking if he should buy it.
That's offensive.
He hasn't made his choice. But it's very sweet that you do ask me.
Oh,
I still am learning how fully decided you are.
No, I want to point this out here on something.
Yeah.
Because this happened today. Or yesterday, actually. I can't remember when this was.
Yeah.
I'm looking at a jacket.
Yeah.
And I want to be fair. I do not, when I ask you a question between things, I might have strong opinions, but I am actually asking them.
Yeah.
My mind probably said that I'm buying this category, though. So I want to be fair about that.
Yeah. You mean it.
I do truly mean if I'm giving out, like,
the color question.
The color questions, or, hey, this is really close. It doesn't mean that I don't have my preferences. Doesn't mean I will listen. We'll listen. But I do want to accurately say that is genuine. In my mind, the decision of like, hey, am I buying this? That's done. That's done.
I am not faulting you for it.
Yeah.
Truly, Adam has done so much research on these items before it comes to me, which I am very thankful for and I appreciate. So he researches this stuff a lot. So that's why he's coming with this. But I just don't realize it. You come to me like it's just out of nowhere. We're like laying in bed. It's just like talking about the day, and it's just like, oh look, I happen to look at this. I
try to drop hints.
Yeah, I bet. I probably don't listen.
You listen. It's a maybe. Sometimes I think it's like, oh, you're not buying that. But if I give into the, which is fair. Every part of that is. But when I asked you about the two color questions recently,
yeah, that's right.
Blue or navy blue?
Yeah.
Very real.
That's right.
Very real.
Right.
That's I think one of my
that's a good one.
Yeah. I want to say that's and it's a character flaw in some areas. No. Yours are beautifully productive in that scenario. Do you have another one?
Well, I only know this one because you told me. Apparently, when I ask about making a soup.
Oh. Yep.
This is actually why we started talking about this, because Adam, there was a day we were making the food grocery list. Adam does our grocery shopping, and I said, should I make a soup? And Adam was like, no, you're right. I'm like, what? And he's like, of course you're gonna make a soup, because if you ask if you should make soup, it's not really a question of whether you should make a soup. And I was like, what? Like, I have no insight to this. I'm like, really? And then, really thinking about it, I think he's right. Like, so I love soups. Oh,
Gabby is, if they're soup and grilled cheese, I would argue is among.
Wonderful.
There are very few times Gabby would not.
Yes, I would say yes to this. That's a good meal.
Yeah,
that's just a great meal.
It is a great meal.
Question.
But you are a lover of soup in all seasons.
Love it, and a gourmet grilled cheese. You're right.
Oh yeah,
that.
yeah. Big deals together.
I used to eat that every day. I could eat that right now.
Yep.
That'd be fantastic.
I think that would be one of your dreams if you had a chef that would make you a new soup every day.
Oh, that'd be incredible. I've said, if we could hire somebody, like I would hire, like a chef so they can make me soups. That would be amazing. So so many reasons I love soups, and this is not a podcast about soups, but it's so many reasons. Like, they're healthy, they're filling.
That's debatable.
Usually. That feels like it's healthy. You feel like you're getting a lot of good nutrients in a soup.
There's nothing healthy about French onion soup.
It's fun to eat. French onion soup is super good for you, I feel like.
The giant fried blobs of cheese.
Delicious. It goes well with bread, which is one of my other favorite foods.
Oh, yeah.
So, anyway, but soups are hard to make. They take a lot of time. They take motivation. Look at this dog outside. There's a dog putting his nose in the air outside a window. So it takes a lot of motivation. It takes a lot of time. You have to get the right ingredients. Sometimes soup ingredients are a little bit confusing. It's like, how much of this vegetable do I need? Or, it includes things that you don't usually have in your house. So it's just like, it just takes a lot. And so I guess what happens is when I say out loud to Adam when we're grocery, list making, and I'm like, should I buy a soup? What I'm really looking for him to say is like, yes, you should make a soup, which he always does.
I affirm.
It's not a real question, because if he says no, which he has also said no, and I'll be like, are you sure?
The soup circles around, and maybe I delay it for a day, but the soup is in the future here. Like, that's where I don't think it's worth the effort anymore. It's like, do we have free time? Great, this is just where my day's gone. We're making a soup. Because at least, and now I kind of embrace the chaos of it in an area, because at least I know it can be done. It's like a surgery. Like, do we have anything planned for the weekend? Okay, Sunday's busy. Okay, I know it's happening then. So where are we going? Or on Saturday?
That's very true. That's very true. Oh my gosh, that's so accurate. Okay, any other ones that come to mind?
I think it's when I suggest a chore.
Oh, yes.
I love a chore. I will be blinded. Like, if there's the work first or play first, I am work first. Like, there is, and I enjoy the chores, for the record. So, like,
yes.
I think people think, like, oh, you don't always, why don't you have more fun? I love doing this chore. I love what is going on right here. I'm having the time of my life cleaning this bathroom.
Yes.
You might not know that, but this is like you sitting outside chatting on the patio. I am enthralled by what is occurring right now.
Adam will come and be like, oh, can I clean the bathroom now? Or can I sweep the floors? Can I vacuum the floors? And I know I have to say yes.
She does?
Even if it's not like the best time.
Disruptive.
But for me, probably no time would be the best time for those things, really. Because it's like, I don't really want to do it. But Adam wants to do it. And so I have to, obviously, it's a great thing for me that he's cleaning those things.
It is beneficial.
So I have to be like, yes, that's happening now. Okay, we have to do that now. And then I have to go,
But it's so nice.
Take care of the children so that he can do it. Or just
so I can clean the bathroom.
But that's what I know. I know that it's the best thing. I'm like, this is the best thing. He's saying this in a nice way to ask me. Really he's saying, it's time. This needs to happen now.
Yes.
Our house can go no further if this does not happen now.
The sweeping of the floor, I've become more chill about and more fanatical.
Yes.
I now know we have crumbs on the floor with kids. It's constant.
Yes.
But there is also a point of like, hey, when I'm saying that we have to sweep now,
yes,
it is often the case that I'm literally crunching with every step we take. This has to occur. There is not a because I've loosened up, I think, since we've had kids.
You have.
And you have to. I have a couple things I'm still stringent on. The bathroom needs to be cleaned once a week. Like, that's a non-option in my mind.
Excellent.
We have a bathroom that takes 4 minutes to clean. We have one bathroom.
When Adam cleans it.
It is not a lot to clean.
You are very good.
Yes, it's not a hard. There is a sink and a toilet and the bathtub every couple weeks. There's a limit. But the floor of the rest of the house, it does. When you walk in, all the fall is coming with you. There should not be leaves in my bedroom.
So good. So good.
Do you have another question? I think those are my two major ones.
The other one that just comes to mind is my mom. Because my mom, we've always joked, is she always wants people to be outside.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, when I was growing up, there was, like, a rule. It was just, like, you're not supposed to watch TV while the sun is out.
Yeah.
So, like, now there's, like, caveats to that. If it was a snow day, like, you could watch TV during the day. Or a really rainy day, like, and, you potentially could watch, like, a show during the day. So, but otherwise, that was the frame of reference.
Mm-hmm.
So, but not just wanting people to be outside, she also loves to exercise and loves to go running. So if my mom asks you to go running, it's just known. So my mom will be like, oh, do you want to go running? Do you want to go running now? And everyone will laugh because they'll say, do you want to go running now or in 5 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to go running now or in 5 minutes? And we say that because it's like, if she's asking you to go work out, like, you can't say no.
Oh, well, okay, so I ran into this, and for the record, I love Mary Kay Gonzalez, Gabby's mom. She is one of the finest human beings I've ever met.
Yeah.
And but this goes with my a few years ago. Her house needed to be pressure washed.
Yeah.
And yet again, I love a good chore. So like, this is great. And a lot of the chores I do for others right now, it's practice because we don't have a big house. So It's like, okay, hey, you're getting a chore. Maybe it's not the best in the world, but I'm getting some of my hard balls out. Like, I'm just learning this, like, which is good. Huge win either direction in my mind. Yeah. And Mary Kate asked if they wanted this done, I think before we did an event or something like this.
Yeah, something
and
like that.
it might have been 4th of July that year. Like, we were really pushing to get this done, and I was all about it.
Yeah.
But, to do the pressure washing, I'm moving the hose around the house, setting up a ladder because it's going up right to the roof, and I'd get set up. I'd be there for like 5 minutes, and she'd say, do you want to go for a run or workout?
Yeah.
Like, it's a beautiful day, you should have some fun.
Yeah.
And I'd be furious. I'm like, it took me 30 minutes to get this all set up, and like, just to move all this around the house. And it's getting, like, this isn't professional power washing, it's the, like, domestic one. It's like, what is this? Like, what is going on?
My mom loves for people to be enjoying themselves on the great outdoors. She just wants you to... Yeah, it's true. I was there.
But it was a chore she asked me to help.
I was there. Adam was literally set up. He's on the ladder. And Mom, she's like, oh, Adam, did you want to, like, go for a run? Did you want to go for a walk with Gab? Did you want to go do something? And, like, multiple times. And every time Adam would be like, no, it's okay. Like, I'm doing this. I'll just do this. And it was so funny because, yes, my mom was very thankful for him to, do that. But also, there was just a part of her that was like, but Adam should be having fun outside and he should be enjoying, free playing and all that kind of thing. And it's hilarious.
Your mom's adorable with it. She lives in a very dualistic world in this.
And she was flabbergasted by you saying no to her. Like, no, I'm going to keep pressure washing. She's like, oh, it's wasting the day.
Doing the chore, but you can't do this in the rain.
I know. But it was a beautiful day. It just kills her for a chore to be being done when it's just so beautiful.
The chore
out.
she asked for, and that's easiest done in the dry, warm weather when you're soaking wet.
Well, I mean, the chore she asked for, really, it's more like she said it out loud in your vicinity, and you're Adam, so you said, oh, I'll do that. And she was like, oh, someone's going to do this. Because she probably said that out loud in front of everyone, and we were all like, oh yeah, that'd be nice if someone pressure washed the house. And Adam sees it as like, oh, I'm going to go pressure wash the house.
We had free time. I think it was COVID time.
Yeah.
It's like, what else was I doing?
I think you're right.
Yeah.
It's just good times.
Got to make good use of it. But anyway, what questions are you asking that really aren't questions?
Oh yeah, take some insight. And really, you won't be able to answer it for yourself because someone else.
But ask a friend.
Ask a friend.
A family member.
Ask your child.
A coworker. That we all know some of our bosses have that.
Oh.
But we're gonna leave that right there. Thanks for being with us on How Do You Say Yaros? Welcome to How Do You Say
Yaros.
Welcome, friends.
Oh yeah.
And today we are talking about a house divided. You may have experienced this, that you think you know the people that you love, that you care about them, but then they hold stupid opinions because they're not yours. And not about the big things in life, but about the little things that you thought this person obviously would agree with me, and they don't.
Oh.
So today we're taking some hot takes on the house divided.
Oh my gosh.
Gabby, we prepared the questions. We've not done extensive discussion, but obviously we have some categories prepared.
But actually, you just saying it that way, the first thing I thought of is not one of the categories that we said.
Oh, go for it. Bring it up.
The first thing I thought when you just said that was our differing opinion on desserts.
Yeah, okay. So Gabby and I, if you've met us, we are intertwined. We in so many ways, I think...
We're very much alike.
We're very alike. I think we complement each other. Like, we don't have many major debates on, like... our approach to life is very similar. Yeah. So we have discussions on, like, the finer points, but, like, we really don't have big fights on the whole about big things.
No.
Because we agree. But we do get into fights about weird things then as well. But we have, for all, and maybe it's just because we didn't, we didn't personally bake as much prior to our marriage.
No, not
But now
at all.
when we have it, we have so many different opinions. So here are the desserts I like. And when I bake them, Gabby's unhappy. And when she bakes her desserts, I'm unhappy.
Okay.
Not unhappy.
Yeah. We're not unhappy, but we're not pumped.
It would be, I wish you could make a different dessert.
Yeah. That's just what it is.
When I make...
Disappointed.
Yes.
A little disappointed.
When I make white cake...
Yep.
Lemon pound cake...
Yes, you do make that.
Funfetti cupcakes... Cinnamon rolls...
Mm-hmm.
Gabby is disappointed.
Yeah.
In the most tragic way if it's argued against.
Just like meh. Like it's a meh. Like it's like, oh, alright.
All of these wonderful food items.
I will eat them.
once as
I
like
will
a
have
sympathy.
one. Yeah,
each.
I'll join in on the first cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will partake in the first
and
cut.
not pound cake, cinnamon loaf type thing. What's it called?
Cinnamon bread, coffee cake.
Coffee cake. Yeah, you don't
coffee
eat the coffee
yeah.
cake either. Real
Yeah, no,
killer.
I don't eat that.
Buzzkill here. All right, what do you
Real buzzkill.
what do you make that I dislike?
Well, I
I'm
make a lot
disappointed.
less desserts than Adam,
Yep.
obviously. Or but foods in general. Like, okay, mine's more foods. So like if I'll make soup,
Yep.
and you're like, all right, you'll have the first bowl.
Well, you do
Kinda
these
same thing.
exotic flavors and they're vegetable based.
I tried like a bok choy soup. You tried it?
It took me out. It was the longest grocery shopping trip I've had in
That
weeks.
was brutal. That was
It's
brutal.
very hard to find a lot of those
You did
ingredients.
amazing.
The produce people look at me weird.
A soup if I make, or vegetables you won't even eat. Some of them. You
It's
just
disgusting.
don't eat them. Or you might include them a little bit in the first meal.
I try.
Certain roasted vegetables. Like you tried the kale chips, but you know.
Kale,
so first
yeah.
bite. I'm trying to think any desserts that I would make that you. Oh yeah, rice pudding.
Hate it.
That's one of like my go-to desserts. I make like a coconut almond milk rice pudding.
Creeps me
And
out.
Adam's totally freaked out by it, like won't even eat it. And he's like, oh great. And that is a
No.
bummer because like that'll be like what I bring to like Christmas Eve with
Yep.
my family. So Adam's like, great. Like that's the
Tricolored
dessert.
cookies.
Tricolor cookies is another one.
That
You don't
takes-
eat those?
Not a big fan.
Wow.
And that takes a long time.
Yeah, I spent
That's
a
a
long
multi-day-
time.
it's a multi-day
It is.
effort.
It's a multi-day recipe to make tricolor cookies. My whole family requests them, so I can't even at this point choose not to make them because I would. At this point now that I've realized Adam doesn't like that dessert, I've been like, oh well, that's like my big contribution to Christmas. I
It's
make
a great.
tricolor
I don't
cookies.
disagree though. I want to acknowledge with those.
But I've been like, oh, I would change it, but now my family won't let me change it.
But I also want to know. I know the luxury level on that. So it's not my preference. I acknowledge the reality of that. It's a baller gift.
What ends up happening is the things that I make. So okay, the desserts that Adam makes that are not my favorites, he makes them. They are typically his favorites.
Yep.
And usually other people too, but definitely his favorites. The desserts that I make that Adam doesn't like, I'm usually making them for someone else. It's their favorite,
It's terrible.
right? So
They both
like,
terrible
but
taste.
it's Adam's absolute like won't even eat it.
Yeah.
So it's very like polarizing. So like if I make rice pudding, it's because it's a request from my mom or dad,
Yep.
which never asked for anything. So I have to make it. Adam wants me to, but he's not going to eat it. Tricolor cookies, multiple family members, it's their favorite. Again, Adam doesn't eat it. These almond pignoli cookies, my dad's favorite. Adam doesn't even
Nope.
eat them. And so like I'm making them for a reason, but
My
he
Christmases
doesn't eat
are
them.
tough.
Yeah, it's all holidays.
I do not. My birthday and Christmas are often overlooked
Oh my
holidays in
gosh,
terms of my preference.
hysterical.
Same thing for New Year's Eve.
That's hysterical.
Moving on.
Okay,
All right, we
moving
got to
on.
get to the actual divisiveness. This
All right.
is. All right.
That's divisive in our personal.
Yes, but we got to get
Okay, house divided. Apple Maps versus Google Maps,
Apple.
and I'm Google. 100% Google.
Apple is so much better.
No, like I don't even know how you can say that because I have been with you multiple times, and I've been by myself, where I have put something by mistake in Apple Maps. No, you're correct.
Okay, yep,
You're
thank
going the
you.
right way. I put something in Apple Maps by mistake. You know what happens? Someone texts you an address. If you just click on it, it brings you to Apple Maps, which is annoying.
It brings me to Google Maps or
What?
Apple. It brings me to Apple Maps. Sorry.
Yeah, it brings you to Apple Maps. And then, but I don't want Apple Maps. But I've done that like 2 or 3 times, separate occasions, and it has brought me to a totally random place.
I want to be united on one front. I'm Team Apple. If I wanted to be on Google, I'd own an Android phone. The only time Google is better at this moment is when I have to use GPS coordinates. Aside from that, got nothing on Apple
Interesting.
for the moments.
Okay,
number
chocolate
2.
chips versus blueberries.
I don't know if this is as decisive because I like both.
You do?
Yeah, I do. I like
You do
chocolate
not.
chips.
You do
I like
not.
chocolate chip
You
cookies.
barely like chocolate chips.
What?
For me,
No,
If I
you're
did-
obsessive over chocolate chips.
I'm not obsessed.
You put them on every food item.
I do. I love chocolate chips.
It's like you're adding a garnish to every dessert.
That's exactly what I'm saying. And chocolate chips, if you're giving me a dessert with chocolate chips, I am extremely happy.
And I do like chocolate chips. I like blueberries as well. It's just you refuse to accept anything without chocolate chips.
Well, I just think chocolate chips should be added at all times. And I do think people really love blueberries, and I think they feel that way about blueberries. I don't. I feel the way about chocolate
I do not think
chips.
blueberry should be added in everything. I do like blueberry-based desserts. That's fair.
You prefer them to chocolate chips.
I don't think so. I
Yes.
love chocolate chip cookies. I would never want blueberry cookies.
Once again, when you're about to make muffins, you say, I'll make blueberry muffins. And what are my favorite muffins? Chocolate chip.
I didn't know that. I know the scones you prefer, but I also want something that's moderately healthier for
I
breakfast.
was just gonna say, you make scones, you make blueberry scones. I do like them. But
I've
I
made
also
you
like
chocolate chip multiple times.
Yes, but blueberry more.
No.
Because you love blueberry.
Maybe one time more.
Oh.
And yeah, I'm putting the work in for the scones. What do you expect?
I'm just saying, you love blueberry, and I love chocolate chip.
I also love chocolate chip, just not as much. You're compulsive. Moving on, next category.
Walnuts versus no walnuts.
Walnuts are disgusting on the whole.
Walnuts are delicious.
Actually, they're not disgusting. They're often added to family desserts why do I want a nut in my dessert?
for the crunch.
I don't want a crunch in
For
a
the
brownie.
good fat.
There's no good, I'm not eating a dessert for the good fat.
You just said you want to make blueberry desserts to make it healthier.
No, that's because that's a breakfast muffin.
Oh my
Huge
God.
difference. Huge difference.
I will say, I don't need to add walnuts in everything. We have a compulsive walnut eater, my brother,
Yes,
Liam.
and he'll only make the dishes full of walnuts,
Oh
which
my
is
gosh.
infuriating.
Yes.
Because now I don't want walnuts on the whole in my food items.
Yes.
Also, Liam, I love Liam. He's not a great baker, so the walnuts are just sprinkled in. They're not integrated well into this platform.
Wait, so Liam, what he will do is amazing. He will actually, if someone brings brownies or cookies, chocolate chip cookies, he will be very like, thank you, and go get walnuts from the pantry and have a bowl of walnuts next to him and like push them into the dessert that was
Now,
given.
or he'll buy the cookie dough and then push walnuts into them.
Yeah, he does do that.
It's
too.
not tasty. Not tasty. I've been on part of this.
Oh my gosh. Okay, very polarizing. Okay, long vacation versus a short vacation.
Long vacation, get me out of here.
Get you out of here.
Where are you at?
Yeah, man.
You linger on a long vacation.
I would
think.
prefer a longer vacation. I don't know. What are we saying is a long vacation? A week?
I
7
think
days?
minimum 7 days.
Minimum
I think and granted, actually, I think we're more united. We have family members that veer strongly for shorter vacations.
Yes.
Like 4 days, like is the ideal for some people.
Basically
4 or 5
Liam.
days. Yes, Liam again. Yes. Although he might be changing opinions, I don't know. I don't want to stick him in this, but
That's
it's
true. That's true.
you know, I'm always on the side of like, if we're going, in my mind, it's always a waste of money to spend all the time to get to another place and then cut it short.
Yeah.
But more importantly, like, okay, my job is, I'm a pastor, it's there. You know, it's hard to take many little breaks.
Yeah.
It's much easier to actually take a little bit of a longer one. And not that we do other trips, but like taking multiple 4-day trips is actually a little tougher logistically at times.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you have a couple big events throughout the week. You have like church service on Sunday,
Right.
often prayer service on Wednesday night, sometimes it's off in the summer. So it's like, that's actually tough to like get people to cover for you. And it's also where you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, if I'm going, it's easier to say I'm taking a 2-week vacation.
Yes.
And it's more enjoyable for me because then you're like longer time off.
You know, for me, I don't think it's as polarizing the long versus short because I think I'm kind of down either way.
Yeah.
I think where it lies for me is one location or multiple for a vacation. And I would prefer one location.
I would choose one with the exception if you're on a cruise where the boat is moving.
Sure, of course.
Yeah.
But in that way, you've chosen the one. You've chosen the boat.
Yeah.
I
But
think.
I do not want to drive multiple.
That's what I'm
what
saying.
Offends,
I don't want a lot of transitions that I have to like pack myself back up and then go to learn a new place. Pack myself back up and go learn a new
Well,
place.
and it's also a waste of time. Like half the trip has been driving now, which is, if I don't want to do that. I want to be at a place, enjoy this, and like maximize like the entire day.
That's how I feel. And I feel like one of the things that I think is like the sweetest thing about vacation is like by the end of the week, or not really, even like 3 days in, if you've stayed at that place, you feel like you're like a local. Like
Yeah.
to get to that point is my kind of
That's
goal.
the dream, yeah,
I
yeah.
love that. Like you get to that point where you're walking around, you know where you're going without like looking at your phone. You have your favorite bakery now. Like you feel like a part of the culture and everything. I love that. So
100%.
So I think that's where I'm more polarized. Like stay in one place.
Yep.
As opposed to multiple.
Love
jumping.
it. Do we have another one still?
Oh, this is a good one. Do you prefer choice of eating at home cooking, or or going out to eat?
Eating out. What about you?
Home cooking.
Ah,
Of course, home cooking.
I want to eat out.
No way, really?
Often, not always.
You do. Yeah.
I like the fun. I prefer homemade desserts on the whole, though.
Oh yes, homemade dessert.
I do not. I prefer that. I feel like they tend to be a little bit better, but like
so much better.
I love eating out. I love a fun food. I know that we don't often eat out too. I don't know. Actually, I have no idea what you can compare often to.
Yeah.
We do good with budget.
Yeah,
we also do know, like, usually when you eat out, it's less healthy.
Sure.
On the whole. Not
Yeah,
mainly
for sure.
because you're giving into an indulgence already.
No, it has to be. Yeah.
You know, I don't often advocate eating out for a salad.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. No, I would prefer eating at home because
Yep.
I love. First of all, I like to eat at home, physically comfortable.
Yep.
I like the idea that I just feel like it's like yummy.
Yep.
And I like the idea of leftovers. You get more leftovers.
That's fair.
So I do prefer, if I were to choose, like for example, you know how people choose their birthday meal.
Yep.
I would prefer. Usually, I would choose a home meal. At this point in my life.
I would choose to eat out because I don't want to do any of the work or cleanup.
But that's the thing. I wonder if I'm shifting. It also depends on who I'm with. So like this year for my birthday, I did choose out, but it was you and I were just going out.
Yes.
So when I'm with a big group, I preferred in. I wanted in.
I think with kids right now,
Yeah.
if the kids are coming, it's
Yeah.
easier at home.
Yeah.
Because at least the chaos is contained and you're
Yeah.
not like running them around a restaurant.
Yep.
But if it's you and I right now, I think the luxury is
That's a luxury.
we don't have to do
We're
it.
not doing anything.
We're like we have two lives that are entirely sustained by us.
Yes.
So it's much nicer that somebody else is cooking, cleaning, doing all of this. That's the lux.
Yeah, and it's nice. Like we can both eat something totally different.
Yes.
That's
Oh,
pretty
that
cool.
is a luxury item. Yeah.
That's a luxury. Like you know,
Yeah.
we don't have to agree on, even though we have similar tastes.
No, we don't have a lot of
It's
food
just,
conflict.
yeah, it's nice that you can both eat something different.
But yeah, that it is a small luxury that you miss out on at times.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Thank you. That's all our list.
I think that could you let us know in the comments if there are such a thing, what your internal conflicts are. And don't forget to like, review, and send us an email at howdoyousayyours@gmail.com if you should be so inclined. Bye now.
Bye-bye.